I want to speak about Abraham. Abraham, who in himself appears in two characters. Abraham, we had Abram. Later on, his name changed to Abraham. And there are reasons why. Abram, without HA, is a heathen. He was born in a pagan family. He had a tribal name, a name that belonged to people. And when God called him, he had to do some changes. And the name that he was given by the family was Abraham. And you can see it there. When he was called, still in the tribal character, tribal behavior, at that time he was not circumcised. So his name was that one, Abram. But when God wanted now to use him, he had to change that name to Abraham. And that's the name. The Abraham we can see on my right is Abram, who belongs to a pagan family. He is not circumcised. And the way he behaved, even it is during at that time that he agreed with Sarai. He agreed with Sarai that they get a child through a slave girl. And the idea of having that child came from Sarai, not Sarah. Because the name Sarah came after the previous name was Sarai. And Abram was just Abram. But after God calling them, he had to change their names.
The Lord said, "Behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. For a father of many nations have I made thee. As for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be."
If you look at that name, you will find Abram is on my right, Ham is on the other side. And maybe you may also want to know who Ham is. Ham is the child of son of Noah. And this is a boy that found his father. He was drunk and was sleeping. He had left his body naked. And when this boy saw the nakedness of the father, he went and told his brothers, who were not happy even. So the brothers came and covered the old man. But the man was so disappointed that he cast this boy. So the two names now, Abram and Ham, are names of people that are not for God. Until such a time now, God combined that name to become Abraham. And God now started using him when he was Abraham. That's the time that God started to work with him. Before God works with you, there is a process. There is what he will take you through. For example, for Abraham, he had to be circumcised. 2, his name had to change. And even the wife, the name of Sarah had also to change to be called Sarah and not Sarai. Abraham was just a sinner like anybody else, and the things that he could do were not pleasing to God. I will read Genesis chapter 17 to see how Abraham behaved when he was told that he was going to have a son. Let me read Genesis 17, verse 17. Abraham bowed down with his face touching the ground. That is prostration, which normally you see people doing. But he began to laugh when he thought, can a man have a child when he is 100 years old? Can Sarai have a child at 90 years? He asked God, why not let Ishmael be my son? You see, the Abraham we are saying that he's our father of faith, but before he met God and God spoke to him, he was an ordinary person. He was just like ourselves. And he agreed with his wife that he sleeps with a maid so that they can get a child. And indeed, Abram did as the wife had told him, not as God had told him. So he slept with this young girl, and they got a son. This is Ishmael. And this Ishmael, there is nothing he got from his father Abraham, because he was not the promised son. In fact, he was told that he will be just wandering in the wilderness like a donkey. And that's why you find that the children of Abram, children of Isaac, the children of Jacob, these are the Israelites. These people, whenever they died outside the home, they had to be carried. The body had to be carried back home. Abram was buried in Canaan. When Jacob died, that is also where Isaac was buried. When Jacob died in Egypt, he had to be carried and brought to be buried in Israel. Same to Joseph, son of Jacob, when he also died. When he also died in Egypt, he was buried there. But as well, the time came for them to return. The bones were exhumed, picked up, put in a box, a coffin, and carried to Israel. But read through the scripture, you will not find a place to indicate time when Ishmael died, where he was buried. It is not known. But the children of Jacob, the children of Isaac, the children of Abraham, their burial place was Israel. That's why you find Christians, particularly Christians, if they happen to die far away from home, the body has got to be carried from there and brought back home. But with a Muslim who relates with Ishmael, when they die, they will be buried wherever they die, the place they have died. There is no carrying of the body back to the home, because they don't belong to a home. God did not prepare them for a home. There is no home for Muslims. Wherever they die, they are buried there. And this is biblical. It comes from the Bible. It starts with Ishmael. Then it goes down to the Muslims. So, the subject was about Abram. You must be changed. You must be circumcised. I'm not talking about physical circumcision. I am talking about now spiritual circumcision of our inside of our hearts, so that we take out chuki, hasira, masengenyo, sharati, kupigana, madharau. But they started with physical circumcision for simple understanding, for quick understanding. But today now, it is no longer physical, it is spiritual. For that reason, as I conclude, be circumcised inside, not outside. And who can do this? Only Jesus, Son of God. May God bless you. Thank you.